Hello and welcome to another update video about HBAR Hedera Hashgraph. So on this chart, we are on the larger time frame in an unchanged situation. Just want to show you the overall context so it's easier to understand the smaller time frame. The idea is that we are in a larger, well, possibly still in the larger third wave here. The white scenario is still leading. So the yellow count is a bearish alternative that would come into play should the price break below the critical support at 9.8 cents. But we're holding above 9.8 cents at the moment. The overall idea is that here in this third wave, we could still stretch a little bit higher possibly, maybe to 49 cents or 66 cents. These are the next upside levels to watch. So should there be an upside breakout, these will be the next targets to observe. I'm currently assuming these will be reached either directly or as soon as wave 4 is complete. But that, we have to be a bit flexible about that and observe the microstructures because the microstructures are quite dynamic. The price is at a key decision point. As always, when we're in the late stages of a third wave, probabilities for upside extensions are shrinking, and probabilities remain or become more balanced because this third wave is certainly long enough to be complete. There are some support levels on the smaller time frame that allow us to track further upside extensions, but once they break, it becomes clearer that the fourth wave has already started. That is impossible to say at this stage. What I can tell you is that I don't see any pattern on the smaller time frame yet that would clearly suggest that wave C is currently working on an upside extension. So now let's take a look at the smaller time frame. Here we can see the unchanged pattern that we've been tracking, still an ongoing range, that is, The support region is still the same. We already talked about it, I think the first time early December, like a couple of weeks ago really. It's between 23 cents and 30.5 cents. That's support here in this pullback in an ABC structure. And in this ABC structure, we are still holding above the 23 cent level. So that's key. Why is this level key? Because this level supports one more upside extension, which would be wave 5 of 3. Wave 5 of 3. Why does it support one more upside extension? Because as long as we're holding above the 50% FIB level, we can see this as an upside impulse. But don't get me wrong, the upside requirements are all fulfilled. I mean, I see this as an ABC structure, which would look best, however, with one more high, which is why I'm primarily tracking one more high. But we need to see a little bit more price action though. And I haven't seen a break above that critical pivot that we discussed in the last few days, right? What is that critical pivot? Well, 37 cents. We need to get a move above this resistance area. And the price actually got rejected. So while the price is respecting all these Fibonacci levels, there is no breakout, right? So we remain caught between support, so between 23 cents, you could say, and 37 cents resistance. We also talked about this trend line that needs to break for a first indication that upside momentum is playing out and certainly has the lead. But that's not the case at this stage. We still stay below resistance and below that trend line. And we even broke now below the lower boundary line of the wedge pattern we talked about yesterday. Remember that I highlighted that these tend to break to the downside, these ascending wedges. And it did that in this case as well. So it is an extremely tricky structure where we say that this B wave to the upside might have topped now, but we only have a 3-wave move down as well. So if I get 5 waves down now, 5 down, which would look like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that would be wave 1 of the C wave down. The move up might be wave 2 of the C wave down, and then it could be a setup for lower, right? But until I see the 5-wave move down, it could just sort of grind around. It needs also to be a break below 23 cents to really confirm the C wave is unfolding. But this was a key pivot where that B wave, well, could have topped. It might have topped. Impossible to say at this stage. So the main takeaway is we cannot confirm yet an upside breakout. Also, the rally from the last low remains in 3 waves. So it's unfortunately not giving us any clear direction. And these are typically patterns that are not easy to trade and that will frustrate people. They frustrate analysts as well because there's no clear decision. But then again, what is the work of the analysis? Well, it gives us the clear levels. So we have the key support at 23 cents and resistance levels well defined. The price just hasn't made a decision which pathway to take. And to just do a recap again, It's actually quite simple. There are two pathways I'm tracking. One is directly higher, then this fourth wave, then a fifth wave, or we're already in the fourth wave and then the fifth wave. So it's very similar. We should do that fourth wave anyway. The main question is, do we get one more upside extension before that fourth wave starts? And as long as we're holding above 23 cents, that remains at least a reasonable interpretation. That's the update about HBAR. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.